Okay, today I want to tell you guys about my current view model. Setup. So basically, I want to. I just. This is more like a tips and tricks video more than my setup, but I'll include my setup anyways if you want to copy them. Right now, view model. My FOV is 54, X is 1.5, Y is 2, Z is -2. Preset position. Set this as 0, or it's gonna reset every time if you change your, like, let's say you set the preset position to, let's say 1, right? Then every time you change your view model, it's not actually going to change. It's gonna keep resetting. So set this as 0, so every time you reboot, your new view model is still gonna load in. Alright, let's go through everything. The first one is FOV. This is subjective. If you like high FOV, sure, play with it. But me personally, I think the hands look super fucking small, which makes it look stupid. But that's just me. I like low FOV. Second is offset randomize. Now, I don't know what the fuck this thing does, but I'm pretty sure it's not good. So just don't touch it. X is how far your hand is to the right. So if you set the value at 0, it's gonna be as to the left as possible. This is using CL right hand though. This is using the right hand. So if I use left hand and I increase the value from 0 to 2, it's actually going to the left more. But most people use their right hand, so I'm just gonna do right hand first. What this command does is it shifts your view model to the right more. So you set it at 0, it's gonna be to the left as possible, right here. But if you set it at like 2.5, which is the maximum value, it's gonna set the gun to the right as possible. Next command, I have to reset this. Next command is Y. What Y is how forward and backwards your view model is. So let's say you want your view model to be more to the back, right? You want your gun to be close to your face. Then you set a low value, which is like -2, which is the lowest value, right? So your gun is super close to your face, or super close to your body, actually, not to your face. But if you want your gun to be farther away, you use a higher value. Pretty easy. Now the last one, the Z. This is very important because it's set how high your weapon is. If you set it to the max value, which is like 2 or something, your gun is gonna be like all the way up here, and you won't be able to see fucking barely anything to your right, right? You won't be able to see anything to your right, even at head level. Let's say I aim at head level here. I can't see this guy. I'm aiming at head level. I'm not even aiming upwards or anything. I'm not intentionally blocking this guy. I'm just aiming at head level. Can't even see this guy. So, guys, please set this as low as can go. I play with the lowest value, which is -2. You might be different. You might enjoy 0 or 1 even. You might enjoy even 1, but me personally, please set this as low as it can go. Like, if you still okay, you play with 0, right? Let's say you play with 0, then experiment with -1, because at some point this fucking command is gonna save you rounds. I know, because it has saved me rounds. Make your gun. Some people care about, you know, how good your gun looks. I don't fucking care. I still have most of my skins in default. This is from a chest. This is from a chest. This is from a reward. This is from my friend. This is from my friend. This is from my friend. And all the other guns is just basically default skin, because I don't give a shit about skin. I don't give a shit about how good my gun looks. I just want to fucking win, you know? I'm not a skin person, so I don't care if my view model is like all the way down here and not up here, because I'm not gonna stare at my fucking gun while I play the game, right? So if you can set the value low, lower than you usually play. And at some point, you're gonna develop habit. You just use -2, and that's honestly a good habit. At least in my opinion, I can't go back to 0 now. I literally cannot go back to 0 because it looks so fucking weird. But in my opinion, it's still not a bad habit. I would say this is like a good habit. You know, making your screen more available to spot enemies. Like if I aim at head level now, look at this. Aim at this guy. I can still see this right guy super easily. You see? The last command about Viewmodel is Recoil. Now, some people might enjoy Recoil. This doesn't really affect gameplay that much, especially when you're spraying, because your spray is not gonna go all the way to over here or all the way over to the right. It's gonna jump mostly up. So, okay, I'm just gonna decrease the volume for a bit. Make sure, you know, the gun don't drown out my sound. All right. So if you set it at 0, look at my gun, okay? Take note of my gun. If I spray, it's gonna stay like around here, right? The highest it could go is around here. If we set it at 1, first you see it sways up a lot more. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't really affect gameplay that much because, again, your spray is never going to end up over here, right? Your spray is never gonna end up over here, so even when the gun goes up, it's not gonna block much, right? And the second thing is, it's gonna trace your spray pattern. Look at this. Look at 0, right? So it goes up and to the right. Up and to the right, right? It goes up to the right. Now look at my Viewmodel, right? It basically just jiggle in place. But if I set it at 1, see my gun? My gun also go up and to the right. So if you set the recoil to 1, your gun also traces the recoil. This isn't really a huge problem because I learned the spray pattern a long time ago, so I don't have this problem. But if you are new to the game, you might see this as like a guide on how your spray is going, right? So you know, oh, over here, and then my gun starts swaying to the right. The moment my gun starts swaying to the right, I'm gonna pull left to counteract that's going to the right. So it might be useful to newer players, but me personally, I don't use it because I know spray patterns and it just kind of blocks your view. But it's okay. I just don't really I don't hate it, but I just don't use it. Now the next thing is this also goes with recoil. Doesn't really matter about that much about Viewmodel, but I'm just gonna cover it anyways. When you shoot, right, you will expect there to be bullets out of your gun. You see the bullets? The bullets is controlled by this command, R draw tracers. Now you want draw tracers to always be 1, because this is gonna draw all the tracers that everyone fires, right? Even your enemy, even your teammates. So I don't think it actually draws your teammate tracer anyways, but the point is it draws your enemy tracers. So if you are standing behind the smoke and someone's shooting through the smoke, you can see their bullet path and you can roughly know where they are. So always set this at 1. Always set it at 1. Now the thing I want to focus is first person, which is your tracer. If you set it at 1, which is right now, you can see your own bullets. This might help you with controlling recoil, especially at longer distances, like here. I can see where my bullets are going and control from this guy, and that guy, right? Or like here, I spray transfer. Oh, I can see where my bullets are going and change accordingly. This is basically subjective. It's not objectively better to have it on. It depends on you. It depends on you. If you like it, set it on. If you don't like it, set it off. I don't see any difference whatsoever about my spray control when I set it on. So maybe that's just me, but if you see that you can transfer sprays better, and control recoil better with this command on, use it. Now the last thing about view model I want to cover is how much your view model moves. I'm just gonna open, let's say, Nico config, or let's say it's simple, actually simple. His CO Bob is this. Now we're gonna go over each of these individually. Right now I set everything to as low as it can go, so you might actually have already noticed that my view model moves very little when I move. That is how I like it. That's how I like it. I don't want my view model to move when I move, because it's distracting to me, but you might be different. I'm just giving tips and tricks to make you customize your own view model. Now let's go over to the first command. What this command is how much your view model moves up and down. Like it sways from farther from your body, closer to your body. Basically, it moves down your screen. It moves down your screen when the value is higher. So if I set it at 5, which is the lowest it can go, it's not gonna move much. You can see it moves down a bit when I run forward, just a tiny bit, right? But if you set it at like 21, which is simples, you see it moves down a lot. This is fine because it actually gives you more vision of the area below here, but there's really not much going down there anyways. Most things happen at head level, so things like view model, offset Z is gonna have a larger impact than the movement of your gun mostly. So if you want, you can this value is fine. This value itself is whatever, you know. If you want to use it, that's fine. But I don't. Oh god, what the hell? Fat fingers. Anyways, I said at lowest can go. Now the second one, these two, are the one I want to focus on. CO Bob cycle, throw that away as well. Throw that away well. What I want to focus is these two values. I'm gonna give you guys all the commands I use in this video in the description. So if you want to copy my settings or just change it around, you can use it. You can do whatever you want. But I just want to show you how big these two commands is, especially to sniper rifles. Like to guns like the AK and the Deagle, setting these values at hell, even fucking 5 or some shit, it looks stupid, but it doesn't really make you worse or anything, right? It looks stupid, but it's not gonna make you worse at the game. Let's say vertigo at 2 or something like that. You know, this looks stupid again, but it's not gonna make you worse. But look at the scout when I move, okay? Again, remembers these two commands. It makes your view model view up and down, left and right, right? This also affects the scout. In what way? Not just the view model. Not only the view model moves around, but the fucking scope as well. This is the biggest thing about these two values. It also changes the scope when you move around. Yes, you can see more, but you cannot, like, your crosshair is jumping all over the place and you don't know how to aim. Like, just tiny strafes or moving the fucking crosshair around like crazy, right? Like, I'm shift walking. I'm literally walking, and look how much the crosshair is moving. You can use these values whatever you want, but this is objectively the best value if you want your gun or your scope to move less. Latitude 0.1 and vertical 0.1. Remembers how the scope moves, right? Look at it now. Yeah, pretty fucking broken. I don't know why not even pro players don't use this. Like, you think about it, pro players, their duty is to be good at the game. So Why won't they use commands that makes it easier for them? I mean, you use one-way smoke, you use nade, you use boost. Why won't you use this command? This is literally free aimbot on the scout. Look at the fucking scope. It's basically still at this point. It's basically a fucking JPEG at this point. It's just so fucking still. Look at it. I'm running. I'm fucking running right now. And I can place shots like that while I'm fucking running. You see? Because it's so stable, I can line up my shot while I'm running. I don't even have to stop. I just have to stop when I actually shoot, which is counter-strafing. See? So, all the other values is whatever. Like, view model, your choice. Fucking recoil control, tracers, whatever the fuck, right? But these two fucking commands, please set them at 0.1, because, my god, when you set these at 1, op is less so, because you move around less. I'm gonna set this back at, like, ridiculous values, like 2. And where is latitude? Copy it, I guess. 2. The op, it's okay, you know? It's okay. With the op, it's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't move that much because you don't move a lot with this op. You usually hold angles with the op. Unless you're fucking like Kenny S or Simple. And then, of course, you push with the op. But usually with the op, you hold an angle. But things changes a lot when you use the scout. Yeah. Use 0.1. It literally gives you free aimbot, guys. Pretty broken. Anyways, so that's my video, tips and tricks on the view model. If you like the video, consider dropping a like, maybe subscribing. And if you have any questions, you can leave it down in the description below, and I'll help you guys. Yeah, that's my tips and tricks about view models. Thanks for watching.
You need me when I'm gone. You told me when I left I need you when you're gone. Or is it all inside my head? You need me when I'm gone. You told me when